Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and today we're taking a look at a couple classic effects that, if I'm honest, I've kind of overlooked or maybe underappreciated in my time as a guitarist. Vox just sent over their VFZ-1 Fuzz pedal and the VTB-1 Treble Booster, and they both represent these category of effects that I just don't often use and kind of haven't spent a ton of time with on the whole, but my ears are ringing from playing them both today in the studio here. I've been having a ton of fun just kind of learning the ins and outs of both of them, and I'm excited to showcase some sounds and some sights for you here. But first, if you're new to the channel here, thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe below so you can stay up to date on future videos, and drop any questions or comments you've got below in the comments, and we'll chat down there. Let's start with the VTB-1, the treble booster here. And if you're a fan of Vox in general, or if you're familiar at all with kind of the lore and the legacy of those Vox amps, you're probably well aware of treble boosters as they contribute to and kind of go hand in hand with some of those iconic sounds from the 60s, guys like Brian May and Rory Gallagher, that really kind of solidified some of those chimey, bright, top-end forward tones and textures. The treble booster, as its name implies, helps to really push those high-end frequencies forward. It gives a really unique saturation to the top end of your signal, and sort of just focuses it in a unique way. It's a cool texture to have. It's one that can work really well with overdriven amps to kind of send them into singing saturation and sustain by highlighting those top end frequencies. And so we're going to lean into it there and hear how it sounds kind of with an amp that's already cooking a little bit, the Hot Rod Deluxe here behind me. The treble booster features a BC109 silicon transistor, and Vox has done some magic to kind of optimize that silicon transistor to have a little more of a germanium response and feel in both the VTB-1 and the Vox Fuzz we're going to talk about in a second. And so it's just kind of a cool way that they've utilized that transistor that's a little bit easier to work with. It stays a little bit more consistent and solid despite temperature fluctuations or different environmental things that germanium transistors are susceptible to. But let's hear the VTB-1 in action here and dial up the level control to just kind of get a feel for the range of amplification and boost that you can get with it. And then we'll also look at this fat toggle, which gives you a fuller, fatter sound as an alternative to that really bright cutting treble boost. Let's check it out. Next up is the VFZ-1, a 2-transistor fuzz from Vox that's really patterned after the classic Mark 1.5 fuzz. It uses, again, those 2 silicon transistors, but really has been voiced and designed to feel a little more like a germanium fuzz, but again, without the temperamental nature of those germanium transistors. So you get a lot of touch sensitivity, you get a lot of dynamic response, you get a really big range of saturation with this fuzz, and they've done a couple nice things to broaden that versatility and that range. First, a couple tone controls. You've got a tone cut dial down here that allows you to make the fuzz brighter or darker, and then you've got a bass cut which allows you to kind of scoop out some of those low end frequencies and again add a little bit more presence or a little bit more clarity or articulation to your fuzz tones. And then this center toggle will go from crunch or fuzz. So in the crunch mode, you'll get more overdriven type sounds, a lower gain experience overall, which can be really nice and expands the versatility of this pedal on your board. Maybe you just want to use it as like a lower gain overdrive or kind of a fuzzy drive type sound. That crunch mode is really great for that. And then flip it over to fuzz and you get that full bore Mark 1.5 style fuzz saturation. So we're just going to dive into these tones here and just kind of meander our way through some settings and controls here on the VFZ-1 as I kind of got carried away a little bit playing this. It's really fun, it's dynamic, and it kind of sends me down different rabbit holes and different approaches to the guitar in a fun way. So the VFZ-1 here, a 2-transistor fuzz. We're going to play the Squier Paranormal Troublemaker Telecaster with some humbuckers in it and just kind of explore the range of sounds and textures you can get from this fuzz pedal. So there's just a quick look at a couple new pedals from Vox that capture some really classic and iconic textures and tones. That treble booster sound that can really add to a cooking amp by bringing out some of that top end sparkle. And then the VFZ-1, a 2-transistor fuzz that has a lot of familiar sounds and feel to it if you have played any fuzz pedals, but with some nice additional controls and tone shaping ability to really give you a pretty broad and diverse array of fuzz and even overdrive sounds. It's been really fun to dive into these two classic effects in the studio here and just kind of uncover some new and interesting sounds and textures with them both, to kind of live in different motifs or different environments than I would usually live in as a guitar player. But I think that that's a fun exercise to do. It's fun to pick up some effects or to use some gear that maybe is a little bit outside of your wheelhouse or outside the norm, to kind of shake things up a little bit and just see what happens. So that's been fun for me to do here. I think both of these options are really great. They're well designed, well built pedals that keep things simple but sound really great and definitely have something to offer you and your rig. So go check out the Vox VFZ-1 Fuzz and VTB-1 Treble Booster, and we'll see you on the next one.